Good morning everyone, welcome back to my allotment. It's Sunday the 13th of May today. It's been about a month since I last posted an update. I thought I'd take you for a walk around, show you what's been happening and update you on a few things since my last videos. Things have definitely been picking up and things are looking a lot greener. The weather's a lot warmer, although we've still had a few cold mornings. We've even had frosts in the last couple of weeks, so not quite out of the sort of late spring winter weather yet, but we're getting there. Let's start with the horseradish. I did do a separate video on the horseradish, but I think it's worth including an update. And as you can see, other than weeds, nothing is growing. I don't know how long it takes. There's one of the stems there has come uncovered, so I don't know whether that's a good thing or a bad thing. I'm going to leave it like that because at least I can see whether it's doing anything. But none of the others, and I think if I remember rightly, there were 5 or 6 stems and absolutely nothing. So for something that's supposed to be quite a voracious plant, it's not doing very well. I don't know whether that is something coming there, possibly. That was a weed. We'll see. I don't know. At the moment I think there's lots of weeds coming through, which you probably can't quite see, or you might be able to. Little weed seeds in the centre frame there, and that's about it. So I don't know, we'll wait and see, but at the moment not looking too hopeful. But then again, you know, maybe a bit too early to judge. My sunflowers for the Nick's Allotment Diary Sunflower Challenge have started to come through. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 at the moment that I can see. I've had to be a bit careful. I dug this area yesterday. I was going to weed it, and then I thought actually there's so many weeds I might as well just dig it over. So I dug it over yesterday. It's going to be, it's definitely going to be courgettes and squash, and I might put a row of runner beans towards that end over by the onions, possibly. I wasn't going to do any runner beans this year, but I've got so many plants. My mum wanted some, so I've grown some for her, but I've ended up with, I think I've got something like 64 or 68 plants, which is ridiculous. I don't need that many, so she's going to have some, I'll have a few, and then I'll probably give the rest away, anybody who wants them. Broad beans are doing well. We've got quite a lot of flowers coming, and also first pods, so I'm pleased about that. There's a few in there that are a little bit bigger. I reckon another week or 2 and we'll be harvesting. There's a few that are kind of getting, there's one here, look, I can show you, that wading into the, not quite ready yet. Oh, if I put my finger in there for scale, so it's about the length of my index finger, but it's a little bit longer, but it's not fattened out yet, so we'll wait and see what happens. Potatoes, they're doing really well. They've been in a little while now, and they've been earthed up once or twice. I'll probably earth up a little bit more and then just leave them to it, and they'll be ready around about the beginning of July, end of June, beginning of July. So a little while to go yet. If I take you around this way, this area here next to the potatoes is going to be my sweet corn bed, but I think if you've watched this channel before, you'll know that last year the badgers got to the sweet corn. In fact, they got to pretty much everybody's sweet corn on the entire site. They're up in the in the disused railway line up there, which is, you know, great. I'm pleased we've got them on site. I'm a little less pleased that they're eating my sweet corn, and they've had a go at, I think, what I thought was foxes a couple of years ago. I'm now pretty sure it was probably badgers. They had a go at the potatoes, so they might have a go at them again this year. But what I'm going to do is put some kind of barrier or screen around the edge of this section. My neighbouring plot holder has done that. I'll just show you what she's done. She's gone to town actually. It's quite impressive. I don't know whether it will stop them. My experience with badgers is it won't stop them, but I think anything where you can make it less easy, put it that way. I won't say make it harder, just make it less easy. It's probably a good thing, and I think there hopefully will go for anybody who's not taken precautions. We'll see, I don't know. We might get some sweet corn this year, we might not. If we don't and it gets eaten by the badgers, I might have to reevaluate what I do, whether I grow it at all in the future, because they do seem to love it. This is this year's crop of leeks. Now I'm a little bit disappointed. I'm just trying to do a count. 1, 2, 3, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18 I think there is there. 18 out of what I planted, which was 42 leeks. Now there are a few which have got are down in the holes, so it's probably about half. Let's be generous and say half of them have survived, and half of them have just, I'm guessing, been nobbled by slugs, but I don't know that for certain because I just can't see them in the holes. If you show you that one, you see there's nothing in there, and I don't know quite what's happened, so a bit disappointing with this year's leeks. Last year's are over there. Let's go back round, and I'm going to take them out today because I need to extend the brassica cage to fit Cavolo Nero in, and I'm going to extend it from there to here to put that in, so we're going to need to dig those leeks, so they're going to get dug. They are going to seed. They're all starting to put seed heads on, and I chopped a few off yesterday. So I'm going to clear that little potch once I finish recording this, and pop the Cavolo Nero in, and then probably take those home and clean them and freeze them, I guess, so that we can use them. But I've probably got more. I don't know, what have I got there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yeah, probably got as many of last year's remaining as I have of this year's that have survived so far, so maybe we'll be alright, I don't know, we'll see, but don't know. My pear tree here, I'm thinking of taking the top out of it this year. It's kind of reaching the point where I'm happy with the height. I'm a little bit taller, but really I don't want it to be much taller than me, so that I can actually harvest the pears, and I don't know whether we're going to get any pears off of it this year. I think this is its 3rd year in the ground here. It's obviously older than 3 years, but we'll see. Apple tree, I haven't seen any blossom on it this year, so I'm guessing it's going to do what I thought it was going to do, which is have a rest year after its year of exertion last year, where it grew so many apples it was just untrue. And we'll see. It might put a few out, but I haven't seen any blossom on it, so I'm guessing that either I've just missed it, or it's not put out much, so that it's not going to be much in the way of apples this year, which is fine. I'm cool with that, because it's, like I say, we had loads last year, and it deserves a year off. Gooseberries are doing really well. There's lots of fruit, lots of gooseberries on the plant, so I think we're going to have a bumper crop this year, which again, last year we didn't do so well, but this year there are loads. So I think in a few weeks' time we're going to be in for a whole lot of gooseberries. There's also a lot of flowers and fruit starting to form on the black currants, which is good, and we've been harvesting rhubarb for quite some time now, so That's been giving us some early fruit. The loganberries have got loads of flowers that haven't come out yet, so they're just buds. And then onions and garlic are doing well, and we'll be harvesting them in a couple of months' time. They're not ready yet, they've not turned and gone over. And then I've got here beetroot, so I can show you what's going on in there. Beetroot and a few weeds, and then radish, and then lettuce and rainbow chard. And I'm thinking possibly somewhere this week, maybe even today, I'm going to uncover these now, because it's probably warm enough that they don't need the extra protection from the elements. And in fact, they're probably getting a bit too warm during the day when we're getting temperatures in the high 20s sometimes. So it's a bit of a contrast between day and night at the moment, and they kind of need the protection sometimes at night, but not during the day really. So I might have to take a bit of a gamble and hope that it doesn't, the cold doesn't do worse than the additional heat does from the plastic, because as you can see, there's quite a lot of condensation on those tunnels. So that's about it for now. I'm going to crack on and get those Cavolo Nero in, and if you have been watching, thank you, and I'll speak to you again soon. Take care now, bye bye.